before the song came out, Nas would always come downstairs and he's like, guys, this is gonna be a new moment.
Call Me By Your Name is a song that's fully based on intuition. There was no real part in the entire process that we're really like, thinking about, oh, what should go here, what should go here.
We've never made anything else like that. And after doing that, we've been doing that more and more.
I feel like a majority of his life has had so many, points of fear and hiding. Once he let that go, we let the fear on our side go even more. This time last year, Nas was able to just be making ideas, and like every day we'll wake up and he's already sent us like 3 ideas of things that he's just recording on his phone. We hit up Apple and got him like a laptop. Halfway through, like the first couple months, he was like, would you guys be down to like executive produce my, debut album? And we're like, of course. We basically took all the equipment that we had, like we rented some, we shipped some out from New York, and then we built like a makeshift studio in the first spot that we went to. And then, we were there for a little bit. Then he's like, I don't know, maybe we need a different vibe. So we would have to like pack up everything, like every cable, and build it in this next spot that wherever Nas chose, 3 different houses.
Yeah. And then ended up coming here towards the very end.
Mm-hmm.
The house that we made Call Me By Your Name in happened to be kind of similar to the one in the movie.
So that night that Call Me started, me and Omer are just recording like this completely other song that, may or may not even make the album. But in the middle of like one of the takes, Nas was just like, wait, pause it. Okay, record this. Call me when you want. Call me when you need. Out of nowhere. And then we go back to like recording the other song. We're like, maybe we should work on that thing. Like, let's go back to that. Basically, that all the melodies in that song, all the harmonic things that Nas is doing with his voice was like done on that night. When Nas first did the hook idea for Call Me, he was just like, Omer, what guitar chords go with this? And then Omer wasn't even like, oh, what key is this? He was just like, he did a couple other parts like this one right here. After Omer put down that guitar part, we just kind of looped it out. And then Nas was doing just like a melody run on top of that. And the bass is just from like that melody run. Yeah, that's the same bass from Mo Bamba and Panini and everything. It's just a good bass. Like when you find a good one, like why change it?
Why change it?
In the second verse, the bass is like intentionally over distorted.
We just looped the record out a bunch of times, and like Denz was saying earlier, just Nas would go for like 20 minutes, and that's been something that we've done almost on every single record. And then we all sit down together and pick out our favorite parts. I want to say it was the next day. It was me, Roy, and Omer in the studio with Nas. And we had talked about it a little bit before we got in about recording like live percussion and just like seeing what was around the house and just recording into voice notes and trying it on the Elam and all kinds of things. Essentially, as the song progresses, as you can see in like the verse section, we have a little less claps layered, chorus a little bit more, post-chorus we have the most. So I'll play one by one in the post just to kind of see what's going on.
And then in certain parts where, like the song is building, we'll just chop up and just change the pattern a little bit. And just make little moments out of, the specific parts where things are needed.
Omer did the speaker percussive shaker thing with a piece of paper, and we just put it on a speaker and we're just like shaking it back and forth like a shaker.
Me and Nas come in one day and there's like keys on the table and he's like shaking the keys and then we chopped it up and like that's the hi-hat. There's like voices in the background, but we're like, oh, the voices are kind of like doing like a rhythm too, so we just kind of didn't try to over clean it and left those in.
We ended up getting a version done that was just really those elements going on. And we knew we wanted to keep working on it, but I would say where we really started adding on was when we were working at another studio for the first time. We had this band Hello Yellow in, recording drums and guitar and bass and even piano, everything like live. We used that as an opportunity to get into a real studio and, record the banjo that we had. We literally just had Omer do like a whole, I remember he just like freestyled through the whole entire song. And then we all sat down together and just picked out parts that we thought would work the best. So I'll play all the banjo parts together.
It's funny because it's a banjo, like on a song that shouldn't have banjo. And like there's even parts where, Omer's really going in on the harmonic minor, Phrygian scale stuff, but on banjo. And then parts like this. This plugin is really what's making the banjo not sound like a banjo, Megaverb. And then we also auto-tune the banjo because that's also hilarious. When Nas previewed the song initially and it went crazy on like Twitter and like all social media, that's where the instrumentation stopped.
We probably had the record, 85, 90% done. It was just like bringing it across the finish line.
This entire extended version of the song came like very much later, around the time that the video was getting done. In this first half of the bridge part, we did all the keys parts. It was dope, but it was like maybe it needs like another part. So when Nas was writing out the bridge and like tracked it, then we laid in this like vocoder going along with the chords, but with Nas's vocals.
Nas is a very hands-on artist. He's a huge part of how the overall record, shapes and ends up coming.
So essentially what Nas does is record each section maybe like 50 times. We'll have to listen to every one of like the 50 or 70 takes of each word and be like, well, this one is more perfect, but this one like has more, grit in it or has more pain or has more, emotion in it. And then we'll go do that for like every single word and every single layer throughout like the entire song. We're playing the bridge and we're like feeling it out. Like thinking like, okay, what goes in that part? Like maybe there's like a Nas vocal that's like chopped up or something. And then David just plays it, like kind of randomly. And we're just like, oh, it was like.
After this journey that we went on from the beginning to the end of this record, this is Call Me By Your Name.
Call me when you want, call me when you need, call me in the morning, I'll be on the way. Call me when you want, call me when you need, call me out by your name, I'll be on the way.
After Nas recorded the second verse, we stood outside and we were like, he's really like putting this level of himself like on it that it's definitely gonna, change a lot of conversations.
Nas essentially created a music video that said, if I'm gonna be myself and truly be myself, and really express my full sexuality, then I'm okay with going to hell. There's real hatred towards people that are simply just trying to love. We want to keep that conversation going. And if we have to put it in people's faces for them to pay attention, that's something that we're all signed up for.
Working with Nas at this point in this capacity makes us even double down on everything that we've ever believed, like coming up to this point.
We have a personal goal as well when it comes to how Black producers are treated in the pop space or seen in the pop space.
Because this is our first, step into the pop space in a real way.
This was a big goal of ours, to really change the conversation around Black producers and really show that, yes, we can live in the pop space and we don't want to go anywhere. When the pandemic hit, we had all these plans. We were going to play at Coachella with him and all these things. And like the pandemic hit, and we had been in the studio a little bit before, but I think when we finally had to just like surround ourselves with the same walls every single day, and like we were literally coming in 5 days a week, 6 days a week, talking every single day. And that's what truly made us, I feel like, brothers on like a whole other level. Just being able to come in and like there was nothing else that we had to think about or, work on. It was just like having fun making music together and just like thinking about creating this overall project in this album.